This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And I am so very disappointed, ladies and gentlemen. I almost broke out in song. So disappointed that we lost to the Hawks. But I was scared of them, Tony. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared of them, man. And we took the L. 108-100. What's your thoughts, man? Court. Like, why we lose? Why did we lose this game?
Well, rebounding the ball. We couldn't buy a basket in the second half. I mean, we really missed a lot of chippies in the first half. We had a good first half, but I felt like we should have been up by 20 points in the first half with the missed free throws and the missed layups. And, you know, we gave them a chance to come back, and they came back. They got their rhythm, and we didn't have no rhythm.
Yeah. Dyson Daniels did a nice job on Jalen Brunson.
Karl Anthony Towns' foul trouble didn't help because he was the only one that really was out there showing some toughness.
Right. Yeah, rough night for the Knicks, man, versus the Hawks. I mean, you know, you looked at the first half, Karl Anthony Towns, 10 points, 14 rebounds. And you're like, okay, this is going to be a monster night for Cat. You know, Brunson was struggling. You know, but you had other guys contributing. I mean, the boards, man. This is something we talked about before. You know what I mean? It's something we talked about before. The rebounding, will it come? Will it bite us? It bit us tonight. You know what I mean?
And we got to figure out how to win when we're not hitting the three.
Yeah. Yeah. Tonight, what were we from three tonight? We shot 26% from the three-point line tonight. 26%, 43% from the field. I mean, it's rare that the Knicks shoot this bad. Rare that this team shoots this bad from the field, from the three-point line. But tonight was one of those rare nights. You know what I mean? And
credit to their defense, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Credit to their defense. And the Knicks not having defense. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Hawks didn't shoot great, but how many times are they going to get an oop at the basket? And I know what they say, they're the #1 league at catching an oop at the basket. That comes, though, from the pick and roll. The threat of that pick and roll leaves so many things open. You know, and we started getting demolished in that fourth quarter.
I thought the defense in the first half was actually very good. But we didn't capitalize. Like I said, we really should have been up by 20 points in that first half. We played good defense. Our offense wasn't great.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks lose to the Hawks 108-100. They're eliminated from the in-season tournament. I was looking forward to it. I was really looking forward to the Knicks going to Vegas and playing in Vegas and then competing for a championship, an in-season tournament championship in Vegas. You know, looking forward to it.
And unfortunately, the Hawks and the Bucks both can build off of this momentum.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
or at least one of them.
I mean, what does this say to you? Well, let me go over the box score. And then while we're going over the box score, everyone in the chat, the number 516-362-5212. I know you want to call in. Listen, we're going to about 10:45 or so because we got a stoop coming up. We're going to talk about some of our New York heroes, Jay-Z and P. Diddy, whatever. You know what I mean? At 11:30. So we got to prepare for that. But I want you thinking about, how does this loss, given that it was an in-season tournament, a facsimile of the playoffs, how does this make you think about the playoffs with this particular team, with the Knicks? You know what I mean?
I mean, again, like I said, after that Detroit loss, all of my overconfidence is out the window. I need to see a couple of things consistently, and honestly, I mean, I kind of been saying it all year. I don't think I'm gonna see it for quite some time. I feel like hopefully we're gonna be playing our best basketball at the very end of the year. Precious Achua, he just came back. It's gonna take him about a month to really get into conditioning, game shape, and on the same page as the team. I think the same thing is gonna happen with Mitch once he's back. It's gonna take him about a month, you know what I mean, to kind of really get acclimated. So, right now, I think we could lose or win to anybody. Hopefully, by the end of the year, they show me some consistency on the defensive end, clean up a lot of things offensively, and I could change my tune.
Yeah. 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 Fans, everybody in the chat, I want you thinking about it. I got JJ from Brooklyn on the line. JJ, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
What up, fellas? Man, I'm
Peace.
aggravated as heck, man. I mean, listen, a lot of fans were saying, "Oh, this is gonna be an easy win." The Hawks are better, like point blank. They're a better team than us. I think they beat us tonight. They beat us next week. They beat us for sure in the playoffs. I would bet anything on it. They're just better. They're deeper. They're quicker. They're more athletic. I mean, we can rebound. We have two guys that rebound in the starting lineup. We got nothing from Bruns. Well, he's a point guard, whatever. We got nothing from Bridges. We got nothing from OG. I mean, Jalen Johnson could have had 30 rebounds over Bridges and OG. We're so off. This team, I've seen enough. Like, this team is not a contender. I don't want to hear, oh, Mitch this, Mitch that. I'm just so tired of hearing about Mitch. Like, when he comes back, we'll see. Until then, I don't want to hear it. Like, he's not saving us either. Like I said that about Precious. There's no saver. This is just a solid team and nothing more. Like, we match up with the Hawks in the playoffs, we're done. We're done in 5. Like, I've seen enough, to be honest. Like, Hawks are just better. Like, they're better. Point blank. Like, it's just a better team. Like, it is what it is. I mean, they come off the bench with 3 starters.
So let me ask you,
That's why I was so concerned. I mean, Hunter's a starter. Okongwu is a starting level player. Bogdanovich, and he didn't even hit his threes tonight. And their bench still killed us. I mean, it is what it is,
Okongwu was trash.
Do you think will the Knicks be better than the Hawks? You don't think the Knicks will be better than the Hawks by the time the playoffs come?
No, absolutely not. No way. No way.
Our hearts are broken, ladies and gentlemen. One of these.
I mean,
this
listen,
feels like
Brunson
one of them.
can't do anything. But Daniels, let's be honest. Dyson Daniels owns Jalen Brunson. Capital O. Brunson can't do a thing versus Daniels. We've seen it twice this year. Can't do a thing versus that guy. Give him credit. He's probably the best defender in the league. He's averaging like 4 steals. I mean, that's insane. Brunson, every time he plays it, it's going to be the same thing. We've seen it. Yeah. Jalen Johnson, he's a star. He's a flat-out star. I mean, look at their bench. I mean, our bench stinks. Can't Campaign's our second best bench, but no offense. He's been good, but let's be real here. You know, you gotta be honest. This team is solid. They're not better than the Celtics, not better than the Cavs, not better than the Hawks. This team's winning around at most. Like I'm convinced. Like I'm sorry, I'm convinced.
Where do you see the Hawks? Where do you see the Hawks in the Eastern Conference?
Where do I see them? Third best, maybe second
Third?
best. Got
Second?
the best
The
chance
Hawks?
to beat the Celtics. I think the Hawks got the best chance of anybody else in the East to beat the Celtics. That's a really good team, man. That's a really
They're
good
good.
team.
I'm not saying they're not good. They're good.
I think they're really
I
good.
think you're jumping out the window. We also played horrible. It's not like we played up to par and they beat us. Like,
but why? It's not because of them. You know,
we missed mad wide
matchup.
open threes. Wide open threes.
And how
In the
many
fourth.
rebounds?
We missed mad
by how many? 60?
open layups.
And what about the rebounding?
The rebounding was
right?
a problem.
That's all I hear.
That's been back and forth with us. But our normal consistency in shot making wasn't there today. So I'm not gonna say they're a better team.
They didn't even shoot well, and they blew us out. They didn't even shoot well either. They were missing plenty of open shots. Plenty of open. You know how many layups they missed after all those offensive rebounds? The game shouldn't even have been as close as it was. They should have won by 30. I mean, we got to be real. Like, you know, I'm just being honest. They're a better team. Like, I'd be shocked if we.
You felt they was a better team at halftime?
I would be stunned. Yeah, I think they were. I mean, are these guys going to become rebounders overnight? Bridges, OG, are they going to get more than 3 or 4 rebounds overnight? I don't think so. Is Brunson going to grow 5 inches and be able to score on Dyson Daniels? No. You know, OG, he looked like he was running in mud tonight. You know, breaking everything. He looked slow as could be. Like, this is a decent team. It's a solid team. It's a good team. And that's it. Like, we match up with the Hawks in the playoffs, it's over. You know, I'm just speaking on what I've seen this year. I think they're better. We struggle with teams like this. Long teams, deep teams, athletic teams that could rebound. You don't rebound. You have 2 rebounders.
Yeah. No faith that the Knicks.
Second best rebounder, 6'4". That's sad. Jalen Johnson's getting 22 rebounds on our wings.
No faith that the Knicks can adjust. No. Okay. So the rebounding aspect.
Tonight, high pick and roll all game. They're doing the same play. I mean, every play.
We
every play.
Me and Tony talked about that pick and roll last night or whenever.
Bridges is just going. They're picking off Bridges, and then Bridges is playing from behind, and so Trey could see the whole floor. Either throw the lob or to do the floor. It's like it was like watching instant replays over and over and over. I mean, do we know how to adjust? Do the players know how to adjust? Does the coach know how to adjust? Does Bridges know how to adjust? I mean, I don't know. You know, I think we're the Indiana Pacers. When we're hitting our threes, we're dancing. Everything's good. Everything's cute. You know, and when we're not hitting like tonight, what are we? We're soft. We get out rebounded. We have 1 rebounder, two rebounds in the starting lineup. We got no rebounds from our wings. None. We're lucky if we got 5 in one game. You know, I mean, I think it's almost 30 games, whatever it is. You know, and I just think I've seen enough. Like, I just think I've seen enough.
So let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this, JJ, then I'll let you out.
Uh-huh.
Is this team better than last year's team?
Overall, I mean, probably not. This team is soft. You know, like, we're soft. Who's physical in the starting lineup? Bridges, OG?
Josh Hart?
You know, this is a very finesse team. You know, I think we're the Pacers that just, obviously, that play much slower. When we're hitting our threes, everything's great. You know, and when we're not, we don't rebound well enough to win if we're not hitting our shots. We don't defend well enough. We got Trey out here disrespecting the logo, doing whatever he was doing. Nobody even steps up. team is just soft. You know,
I feel you. All right,
and
JJ.
I'm not talking about Cat. He's the only one that actually plays hard.
Yeah.
So that narrative, no, he's not the issue.
Okay. Hey,
A lot
JJ.
of the other guys.
Always respect your opinion, brother.
Appreciate you guys,
All
man.
right. Peace.
All right.
Sounds like we need. It sounds like this sounds like the old show.
Sim, I disagree with most of what he said, but I will say this. I was gonna ask you, how ironic is it that Cat came here with that reputation,
And now he's
and
the
the Knicks
toughest guy.
had the reputation of the opposite, and he seems to be the toughest guy.
Right.
You know what I mean
Yeah.
on this team.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the one thing I will agree with.
Yeah. That's something. The Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, they lose to the Hawks 108-100. They were led in scoring by Josh Hart, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Karl Anthony Towns had 19 points, 19 rebounds, 5 assists. He had 4 assists at half. Only 5 assists in the second half. 1 assist in the second half. Obviously, he was hampered by some foul trouble. Jalen Brunson, he had 19 points. Mikal Bridges had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Jalen Brunson, 14 points, 8 assists. Did not shoot well from the field at all. 33% from the field, 33% from the three-point line. Dyson Daniels really did a good job on Jalen Brunson. And yeah, the Knicks will have to figure that out. If they face off against the Hawks in the playoffs, they got to figure that out. Because he definitely played great defense on Jalen Brunson. OG Anunoby, 13 points, 16 rebounds, 6 rebounds. Wish he had 16 rebounds. Cameron Payne had 7 points. Precious had 2 points, 5 rebounds. Deuce, 5 points. Not a good night for the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. They take an L. Get eliminated from the tournament. People are depressed. Let me get to another phone call. Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
This Kurt from Roosevelt.
What's going on, Kurt?
Yeah, Brunson is a fraud, man. They clamped him with a second-year player, man. They ain't going nowhere, man. The Knicks is trash. That's all I have to say.
All right, Kurt. I feel you.
Kurt from Roosevelt.
Oh no, Kurt sound like a Hawks fan though, a little bit.
I mean,
or one of those New Yorkers who just don't like the Knicks. You get a few of them for some reason. You know what I mean? Lauren from Cali, what's up, brother? How you feeling?
First things first. Antonio, how you doing today, bro? Good?
I'm doing good. I'm all right. I ain't jumping off the window.
All right, so before I even speak, let me ask what y'all feel about this tournament. Are you invested? Do you not care? Like, what's your take on this tournament in general?
Tony asked me that the other night. I'm cool with the tournament. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I'm
cool with it. Does
cool
this loss count towards your perspective of us as contenders, or
for me,
not really?
So for me, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the one thing I wanted to see from the tournament is, and this is why I like the tournament, right? You get a chance to see how your team can perform under that kind of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Can you step up when the game gets intense? You know what I'm saying? When the refs stop giving calls, when the refs let the game get a little bit physical. You know what I'm saying? When the refs are letting things go, how do you respond? You know what I'm saying? And we got a taste of it tonight. A taste of it, right?
What
The
do you
Hawks,
think
the
was
Atlanta
the
Hawks,
problem? Like,
which
what do you think caused us to lose, from your perspective?
well, obviously we didn't shoot well, right? You got to, you got to shoot well. The one thing I'll say about last year's team, if we didn't shoot well, we found a way to clamp. We could find a way to clamp down. You know what I'm saying? We won plenty of games without shooting well because we would clamp down and we could rebound.
Mm-hmm.
We got killed on the boards tonight.
Oh my God! Oh my gosh, the end of that fourth quarter was
Brutal.
a disaster on
Brutal.
the board. I'm like, you got it. I don't want to say they quit, but I hope they quit because that can't be the norm. I know Cat was out and whatever case be, but my goodness, yo,
Brutal.
like the rebounds, it almost looked like we weren't on the court, But I'm glad you said what you said about like your perspective of this tournament, because obviously there's still a long season to go. There's still trades that are going to happen, but I do count it as kind of a gauge of, for me personally, it is my gauge of Tibbs in the playoffs game plan wise, because the one thing that I saw last year that he proved me wrong was even with the depleted roster, me personally, I've never seen a team give that much of their all as a team last year after everybody got injured. So I got to give him credit there. But as a default setting, my worry about Tibbs in the playoffs specifically, or whenever it's like a tournament or something to do with elimination, is does he strategize effectively enough on offense, scheme-wise, in comparison to other contending coaches? That's always my reservation with Tibbs.
Right.
And watching a game like this tonight, I mean, we didn't hit shots. Mikal Bridges, stay home for like a couple of days so the Knicks fans will see you on the street. But, that's always my thing. I will say the ball movement it's still there. They moved the ball. It's not that anybody was doing too much ISO. It's just something was off tonight. Something was off.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it could be the pressure of the moment. We don't know, but it could be. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how this particular team reacts to pressure yet.
Mm-hmm.
As a unit, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know what you're saying about the adjustments. In-game adjustments, like we talked about, is not Thibodeau's strong point.
Yeah.
Game-to-game adjustments, he's much better. The thing about this tournament is you don't get game-to-game adjustments. One game.
It's a snapshot. Quick in and out.
That's it.
You in or you're out.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll say, so from your perspective, this is one thing that I think I will say I took for granted when he was here, was his attitude. Like, Julius Randle was, for good and for bad, just obnoxiously an a-hole, right? For good or for bad, right? But it was always known that attitude will show up on the court every day of the week, again, for good or for bad. Do you think we have that this year? Do you think we need that this year as far as like somebody with an attitude, like some grit? I think Josh Hart has it a bit, but who's that voice?
It's something that we've been talking about for a while. I'm not sure. I thought, I thought we saw some things and found some things earlier, when we hit a little bit of a streak. I still wanted to see us be able to pull out a tight game against, top level teams. This was a different situation than just a regular game, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it shows you something, and maybe this is a learning experience for the team too. Like, we gotta be tougher. We gotta be tougher mentally, emotionally. We gotta be tougher.
Obviously, it's not a bad roster, and even when they're not doing too well, they still look like a team that, when everything is going good, they should contend with no issue at all. I mean, that starting five is still the best, in my opinion, in the league. It's just those pockets of consistency that we're not seeing. There's like slips here and there. I went to see them play the Suns, but this is against, this was a Beal and Durant didn't play, so that's not really a good game to gauge. But as far as ball movement in person, it was spectacular. It was amazing. But then you see, like, we beat the Nuggets, destroyed the Nuggets with a pretty much decent, healthy roster that they had. Then we go to the Mavericks, we lose without Luka. We beat, teams without Zion, and we beat some teams that are pretty much G League rosters. But I'm yet to see what we really look like consistently. We all are yet to see that,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It is what it is. I really wanted that cup. I really wanted that.
Me too.
I ain't gonna lie.
Me too.
I wanted it.
Me too.
Yeah, it's all good. We gonna get the championship anyway, so it is what it is.
You said we are going to?
We are absolutely 100%.
Okay.
It's
I
ours.
hope so.
We
I
got
hope
our
so.
name on it already.
Okay, I hope so. Hopefully this was just a learning process.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You know, everything is a learning process.
Yeah.
Everything's a learning process. You know what I mean? Lauren, I appreciate it, bro.
3 games, and we got a trophy, bro.
Yeah.
51 years. Whatever. All good.
I'm not accepting that one. I'm sorry. I mean, I'll be happy with it, but I ain't accepting it for that.
I'm not accepting it as the final trophy, but I wouldn't mind. It ain't got to be a parade, but a day at Madison Square Garden for the fans to celebrate that, I will go. I'll fly from LA. I need something, man. Come on. It's all good, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you, Lauren.
Holla.
Peace.
No doubt.
Ah, man. Fred Wong, thank you for the super chat. He said, first half, we stayed with our man. Second half, we went back to the BS switching, and we got burnt. I'm sorry, Tibbs has to go. His defensive scheme is trash. And I seen somebody in the chat before we even got on, jumped on and said, Tibbs should have played zone. Tibbs should have played some zone. They should work on some zone. I mean, you got to work on it first, but yeah. Should work on some zone. You know what I mean? Should work on some zone. I don't know, Tony. Does it for you? Does it have an impact on the playoffs? If the Knicks are a contender and all that stuff?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like meaningful games, meaningful opponent. Like I said, they've been rising in the East from where they started. Already beat us early in the year. They beat Cleveland twice, so you gotta respect them. They had a heck of a run when they beat us in the playoffs that year. So yeah, this was a meaningful game, quality opponent, and we faltered in the second half.
Yeah.
So again, my confidence is not as high as it was after that Denver game. Like I really thought we turned the corner in that Denver win. And since then, it's been back to the shakiness. I need more consistency.
Yeah.
The thing about last year, it wasn't, we never shot the ball well. So you know what I mean? Like that was we was at the bottom of the league in shooting percentage. But what we were doing was getting those multiple attempts and having more attempts than teams, which was keeping us in the game. I don't know if that's a hard adjustment to go back to or figure out the balance when you are a good shooting team and maybe your mindset is that most of these shots are going in as opposed to, last year knowing they weren't, you know what I mean? And you had to crash the boards, but
yeah.
I don't know. The rebounding killed us.
No doubt. It's tough. Let me get to another call. Here. Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
Hey, Sam, it's Mustafa calling from Queens.
Mustafa,
how you doing?
What's good, brother? I'm good, man. I'm good. How you feeling about tonight?
I'm feeling a little bit disappointed. We started off well. We played defense well. A lot of effort on the defensive end. We actually played smart because when you look at it, they weren't getting those alley-oops that they were getting in the second half.
Right.
And second half, it just unraveled. Like, you don't see the same effort. Guys are not boxing out. A lot of rebounds that, we could have got went over our heads. It just seems like Karl Anthony Towns is on an island on his own, rebound. Like, everybody else is just like, if we get it, we get it. It is no effort on that end. So he needs help in regards to that. Obviously, we don't have Mitch, but another thing I've noticed, too, that is a persistent issue is that we have, like, execution problems. Like, we can't execute consistently, especially when it comes down to, like, guard play on the perimeter. Like, outside of Brunson, who else do we have to help us execute? And when you look at it, you see Deuce McBride out there. I love him, but he looks hella scared. Like tonight, he didn't play his game. I don't think he played his game. I'm gonna call him out on that. And we got Mikal Bridges, as a guy that from Brooklyn, a 20-point per game scorer. Somebody could shoot the ball, play defense, but his defense have been subpar. And then when it comes down to making plays, executing, and taking the burden a little bit off Brunson and sometimes even Towns, he's nowhere to be found. Brunson can't get an easy shot to save his life. Who else is gonna step up? This is it's a problem. Like, they say, we're the number one offensive team in the league, but if you cannot execute in the fourth quarter, you might as well just erase that stat.
Yeah, I feel you on that. That fourth quarter execution. We got killed on the boards in the fourth quarter. They play after the same play after play after play. They catching oops. I mean, that was bad.
Yeah, it was really bad. Like, you talking about 5 offensive straight rebounds.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't understand it. And it looked like Karl-Anthony Towns, after some point, he got fed up too. Like, it seems like nobody else is rebounding. OG, it just seemed like he's a great defender, and I understand Tibbs is asking a lot of him, but I just need to see a little bit more grit and effort when it comes to rebounding, because if he cannot rebound at that 4 position, it's a problem. We can't have him there. I don't like him in that position, honestly. I think 3 is his best position.
Mm-hmm.
But, obviously, desperate times call for desperate measures. So I understand it, but we need rebounding in the worst way. You cannot just have Karl-Anthony Towns by himself and you got 3-4 guys pulling and tugging at him. Refs not calling nothing. It's wearing.
Yeah. I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. We're gonna turn it around. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we're still, we're gonna turn it around.
I believe so too. We could turn it around because the first half was encouraging.
Yeah.
Especially from a defensive standpoint, it seemed like everybody was connected. It's the same thing the previous game. We played maybe a quarter of good defense, but the rest of the game we just, inept. I don't know what it is. It seems it's always a breakdown at some point where the communication issue, guys are looking at each other like that, you were supposed to get that, I don't know what was going on. Like, I've heard the team has communication problems. So
what do you mean you heard?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Something that they could work on.
You said you heard that they have communication problems?
Yeah, so I've watched some stuff with Stephon Marbury. He said he mentioned it. Even Mikal Bridges, he talked about it. Was it last game or the game before that? He pointed to our defense. He says when he talked about we're not good enough to not play defense, and he said that we have like a communication problem. It's something that we need to communicate to play defense, and I agree on that point. Even though he's obviously one of the main culprits on defense, but that's besides the point. Like, I don't know what it is. Some kind of breakdown.
Yeah. Hey, my man Mustafa, thank you for the call, bro. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate it. Things not feeling good tonight, Tone.
Mm-hmm.
Things not feeling good.
I don't think tonight was the night to bash Bridges, though. I thought he had a real good first half. I mean, everybody really had a good first half, maybe other than Brunson, who couldn't find his shot. It's really that second half altogether. OG, I thought it looked like he quit at the end of the game. Especially after he got hit in the face and no foul call.
Right.
Like, he was not playing no defense after that. Mine was not in the game at all after that. I did see a lot of communication breakdowns with Towns and OG. I think it was 2 consecutive plays where I guess Towns helped and OG was supposed to rotate and he didn't. But yeah, I'm not as discouraged. I mean, I wanted the cup as well. but we didn't play our best. It's not like they straight, you know what I mean? It's not like they straight beat us and we was at our best in that second half.
Yeah.
We just couldn't hit nothing.
Right. Now, I feel you on that. We didn't play our best. We didn't play our best.
How I see a lot of people killing Tibbs. Where do you think Tibbs potentially went wrong? I do know it was a point early in the third quarter where we were starting to get out rebounded, and I was asking like, man, maybe we need Sims. I know he put Sims in late in the game, but by then I think it was a little bit too late. Just to help with the rebounding. You know what I mean? Like, but other than that, I couldn't really pinpoint anything Tibbs did or didn't do wrong. It was execution.
Yeah, I mean, execution. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're getting, let's look at the game stats. We got beat 58-49 on the boards. Right? I mean, guys got beat 58-49 on the boards. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 27 assists for both teams. 11 blocks for the Knicks, 8 steals for the Knicks. Only shot 43% from the field. Only shot 26% from the three-point line. 60% from the free throw line. Atlanta, 66 points in the paint, 54 for the Knicks. 14 second chance points for Atlanta, 12 for the Knicks. 20 fast break points for Atlanta, 10 for the Knicks.
They had 20 offensive rebounds though, right?
Who, the Hawks?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me go over there. They had 22 offensive rebounds. 22. I mean, come on.
That's what we used to do. Like you can't give them 22 extra attempts. You know what I mean? Or I can't even say attempts but 22 extra possessions and expect to win the game.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Tough loss for the Knicks. 108-100 to the Hawks. Eliminated from the in-season tournament, you know. It's a rough one. I don't know, Tone. I do want to remind people, though, even though you're feeling disappointed right now, we're all feeling disappointed, the Knicks and the Wizards will play on December 30th. And NBK is going to be in the building. If you want to join us, ladies and gentlemen, please join us. You know what I'm saying? Tickets, $130, section 114, right across from the Knicks bench. We would love to see you there. You know what I'm saying? We'll have a pregame and postgame podcast. There, ladies and gentlemen, come join us. December the 30th, there's a link in the description of the video. There's also, the link's not tagged to the top of your YouTube chat yet, but it will be, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you check that out. All right, join us. We'd love to see you there. And later on, folks, at about 11:30, we're gonna get off of here in a few minutes, so Tony and I can set up. You know, for those, if you're into hip hop and you know you want to get your mind off the Knicks, come join us as we talk about Jay-Z, what's going on with Jay-Z, and now all the allegations and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's crazy, right? So make sure you join us for that. I'm putting a link in the chat right now. You know what I mean? So join us on the front stoop as we take a look, talk about it, break it down, and all that good stuff, man. Make sure you join us tonight, 11:30, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we're getting off a little bit early, so we can talk about that, get our mind off the Knicks. I feel disappointed. This last thing, are we a contender? You're muted, Tony. Or maybe you lost your mic. I don't know. I can't hear you. Not getting any sound. I see him. I'm looking in the chat. He's Blue Drew said no. Kevin says we are. JJ, no. Greg, no. Alexander Perry, no. King says no, not a contender. Oh. King says only the playoffs. JJ, not a title contender, no way. Young An, not yet. Kings, no, not a contender for a championship. Alexander Perry, no. Kevin Bergen says we are. JJ, nope. Greg, no. East Blue Drew, nope. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate your time. Join us. Did Jay-Z do it? Did Jay-Z do it? I don't know, but join us. I don't know what you're saying yes to, J-Tap. Hopefully you're saying yes to the Knicks being a contender and not about Jay-Z doing it. Vaughn Allen, too. I hope you're saying yes to the Knicks being a contender and not about Jay-Z doing it. I don't want Jay-Z to be guilty of that. Make sure you join us over there. Vaughn said he did it. Oh, my goodness. Look, hey, look, East Blue Jew said, yeah, he did. Come on, y'all, what we doing? Y'all really think that? Oh, you got to join us. We'll have the phone lines open because I want to hear why y'all think that. You know what I'm saying? Sheesh. King said, nah, Jay didn't do it. I hope not. I hope not. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, join us on the front stoop, 11:30. All right, click on the link now so you can set up your notification. Make sure you get the notification. And, yeah, we up out of here, y'all. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.